Hello everyone, a very warm Sunday to you. Hope your weekend's going well. In the UK at least the weather's brightened up slightly, but it is from the UK. So if you're abroad, don't get jealous or anything. You're probably a lot hotter than where we are anyway. Now what's this video about, this Sunday sort of like vlog? Thanks for clicking on this video and watching the other videos. It keeps it running. But let's get to the point, Nick, get to the point. Well, this video is about public transport. Comparatively, if you want to compare it, if you're in a different country to where it is here. But I work in London. Well, at the moment at least, I'm thinking about maybe my options. It's not always the greatest, but the thing is, public transport in the UK is the most, for trains at least, is the most unreliable and most expensive thing in the world. Now, my commute, if everything runs smoothly, is about an hour and a half. I know that's huge. And at the start it was running smoothly, but now it goes wrong so many times, particularly because I need to get the underground as well. It's an absolute nightmare. Sometimes it can take me up to 2 hours for a cost of £5,000 practically for a season ticket. Is that good value for money? Not really. I could probably go around the world twice for that, and that'll be pretty much better than going to work. Why is the UK the most expensive? I don't know. And the rail workers go on strike quite often for pay raises and all that sort of stuff. And the trains are overcrowded, and you think, what is the point of all this then? Now, I put up a video quite a while back, you might have caught, loosely related to public transport, where I was on the underground, really packed. I think something else was going on, and someone grabbed hold of my arm, quite heavy, and almost dislocated it and caused very limited movements. That was absolute intense pain. Fortunately now that seems to be getting better, although I can't, it's never going to be quite what it was. I don't think I'm going to be able to grab hold of anything. See, if I was on a burning building and a helicopter lowered itself down to lift me off it, I'd have to use this arm rather than this one. And one arm, I'm not sure. It might look pretty cool for the news clips, but I might lose my grip and fall off. So if that does happen, it's all the fault of public transport, and I'll probably sue. You should write a letter of complaint too. Now, what I don't do, apparently when the trains are delayed, you can fill in a compensation form to get money back. I never do that. I never seem to have the time, but perhaps I should have done, because I could have got lots of money back. So I have to catch the district line, which is an underground service. Overground, comparatively, isn't as bad as the underground. Apart from the train does slow down if it's too hot or too cold, or if it's raining or too windy, or there's something on the track, or there's a points failure, or there's a ill passenger on the track, well, not on the track, they'd be pretty ill, they were on the track, on the train. I overheard some of the rail workers on a platform once saying, when it's raining and the track's wet, the train has to go at half speed because it takes twice as long to slow down. Well, okay, that sort of like makes sense. But if your journey time is normally 40 minutes and the train's going half speed most of the way, that's obviously going to cause a significant delay. I've pretty much had enough of it, really. If it was just about half an hour or 40 minutes in, fine, but then I've got another chunk on the underground as well. Now, District Line gets suspended quite a lot. It has in the last month or so. One was 2 kids running up and down the tunnel at a station called Aldgate, so that got cancelled there. And you wouldn't believe it, would you? Another one, there was a fire later on down the tracks, it got suspended there. The latest one, there was a 24-hour strike going on because a driver apparently had gone through 3 red lights on it and been suspended, and all the other drivers thought that was wrong, should be allowed to go through 3 lights or something. And I don't know if that's a true story. That's the story that's filtered back, and they went straight. So it's a much limited service. There's a circle line I can also use that runs along that line, but it's 1 train every 15 minutes. So of course, as opposed to 1 every 2 or 3 minutes, the district line. So then you get everyone trying to cram onto 1 train, and it's an absolute nightmare. And it's like nose to shoulder, shoulder to nose, and people barge on the train, and it's absolutely horrible. It's getting to the point where my commute in is a lot worse than the actual work itself and the job, and it should always be the other way round. You should go into work with a feeling, well, office work, with a feeling of foreboding, but when I get in, I'm just glad I have the commute's actually finished. So, you know, and another thing, I don't know if you've ever had this before. This is horrible. This is worse than my actual shoulder injury and barging on and off trains, although it's similar. There's a central line, which is the red line, if you're familiar with the London Underground, Google a map. And this one seems to be the most packed train you'd ever see outside of Japan. Now, this story is not one for claustrophobes. I was waiting, I only have to go up one stop, thankfully, on this one, if I'm going into Stratford. But I was waiting by the platform, and I think the train before that had cancelled. Now, the platform fills up pretty quickly, so you're dependent on a train coming through every 1 to 2 minutes. There's an ice cream van outside. Why? I'm probably going to hear that. Go microphone, filter it out. No, we don't want ice cream. We're talking about the underground here. Yes, where was I? Yes, the platform fills up pretty quickly, so you want trains to come pretty quickly to take people off. So there was a bit of a delay with that. So it was absolutely packed. The doors opened for the first train. I couldn't get on that, so sensibly I didn't squeeze on. The next train come along. The platform had got even busier by that point. I managed to get on, and I was a bit like this. Like that on the train, and I thought there was about enough space, but then some other nutcase jumps on as well and pushes everyone, so it's even more flat, like this, like you're in like sardines or something. And I thought, at that point, I thought, Nick, you need to be doing something else now. There's more to life than this. So I barely had any oxygen. Everyone was all squished like that, all looking unhappy, nose ahead. Because you think you're on, you think, I've just got enough space here, and suddenly there's a big force behind you like that. That's not the greatest feeling in the world. So, but I kept thinking, Nick, just get to one stop. Now, I'm not a claustrophobe, but if people start panicking around you, it can set you off. But anyway, so I thought I've only got to go up one stop here. So it's all like this. Go. Suddenly the train goes into a tunnel, and it comes to a bit of a stop. Go like that. And right, so we stand there for a while. We're standing there for a while. No one's saying anything, as you don't on the underground. And it stayed motionless about 2 to 3 minutes, and I thought, this is a bit unusual. Maybe he's waiting at a red signal or something, waiting for the platform to be cleared ahead, blocked by another train. And then this announcement comes on. It says if you're leaning against the doors, the train will not move, like that. Please don't lean against the doors. Now, bearing in mind, everyone in my carriage at least was all like this, crossed against the door, back like that. And I thought, right, okay, maybe it's just an announcement, because apparently if there's a computer system that registers if there's too much weight against the doors or a door is open, it cuts the power so the train can't move. So I think it might be something to do with that. So we're waiting there for 2 or 3 minutes, and then the driver obviously tries to pull away. He tries to pull away. There's a big jolt. Go do. And I thought, oh my God. And I look at the guy behind me who barely fitted in. And he must be leaning against that door quite heavily, because there's no space. I thought, oh great. And there's a lot of people in a small space, so the heat starts gradually going up. Now you can't remove your coat or anything, because there's no room to actually move. There's people with rucksacks on, taking up space, moving like that, bashing people. I thought, okay, just keep calm. Now this went on for a period of about 10 minutes. Just all standing there, they go people getting barged around all together as one lump, really. There was a guy off to the side of me, well, I couldn't even see. He started swearing and panicking, going, not like Jimmy Savile, but a bit similar, and he started swearing to himself. And it's at that point where I thought, am I going to die in here? And you start thinking about the worst case scenarios that you generally think about, and then you're thinking, right, oh dear. Now, I couldn't see out of either doorway, but presumably, looking back, they would have opened and we could have gone on the track and left. But it was terrible. This jolting, and then the announcer kept going on saying, look, getting more and more angry, if you lean against the doors, this train will not move. Like that. And I don't know where everyone was going, and I thought, oh God, that's it for me. That's it. There's more panicking going on. It's like a scene from Airplane, but without the jokes. And eventually, that sometimes happens, technology. Eventually, the train did move, and I thought to myself, oh man, thank God for that. you know when you get a sense of your own mortality, you get a sense of what's important and what's not important. It's not all about long distance trying to get the best job you can. It's all about just having enough money to pay your bills, survive. For me to make videos like this, because this is where I get my most enjoyment, which they're fairly cheap to make, to be honest with you. And I thought, I got to get out of this. I've been conned into thinking working in London is the greatest ever, to get the most money you can ever, and all that sort of stuff, but that's not it at all. You get people that join the priesthood and monks that's in Tibet or Burma, where they got nothing at all and they just go through methodical processes, sweeping up and stuff, and they're spiritually clean and everything. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to join a monastery, but you get the comparison of that. The Western world keeps striving for money, doing stuff, and ever since then I've been on different undergrounds. That hasn't been as bad as that thing, and you think, is this really what I want to be doing? It's horrendous. So that's basically my underground trip. I almost thought I was going to die. I've had arm injuries. There's people bashing you with rucksacks, and I think, you know, if you can go back in time, could I change it? Things can get worse. What happens if someone went potty on there? I don't like to think about it, with a weapon or something like that. I couldn't move, and that'd be well, good night, Vienna. So what's your commute like? Is it as bad as mine? Are you in a different country where the travelling is a lot cheaper and it's a lot freer? Or is it roughly the same and I'm just going on about nothing and Nick, you should stop whinging? Let me know what you think about that. Public transport in the UK seems to go up by a stupid percentage each year, and you don't see too much investment on improvements. If there was more trains coming along, there's more regular and they wouldn't strike, then it could actually provide for the amount of people that want to use it. But only whenever there's a small delay, so it's because the amount of people who want to use the service all clogs up onto one train or a few trains, and then it's absolutely hell, and it is absolutely dangerous. So I'm not interested to hear about your thoughts about that one. So we don't always talk about retro gaming, but having said that, the Instagram channel is up for myself and the channel. If you want to follow that, it's njenkins7. But if you've got a choice following the YouTube channel or the Instagram channel, follow this, because Instagram is really just to create awareness for this. So you're here already, so well done. If you've got Instagram already, then follow me on that, and I'll probably follow you back. I'm just getting used to it at the moment, putting a few pictures up every now and again, mostly about the video and maybe some behind the scenes stuff. So if you're interested in that, then yippee-da-doo-dah, if in fact that is a word. So thank you for watching the videos as always. Thank you for your continued support. Might be a bit more news about the channel going forward later on. Anyway, work I'm considering my options, let's just say that. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye. Goodbye.